Good evening, everybody. Hope you're doing well. My name is Victoria Pikowska. I'm the founder of Victoria Art, and today we're going to have our next seminar together. We will be talking about something what will really help you to progress in your career, and it's very, very important basic thing, literally the most basic thing you can have. However, we see very often that not a lot of people do have these kind of tools, and that not a lot of people actually think how to make it the best way possible. Without this, you really cannot present yourself, neither online, neither in front of galleries, in front of your clients, but still so many artists are missing it. So, for example, yesterday I had one call with very talented artist, but when I asked her, okay, so where I can see your artworks, where I can eventually buy it, she didn't have them anywhere. She didn't have anything where I could eventually buy her artworks. So, yes, today we will be talking about portfolio and how to make people interested in your portfolio, how to make your portfolio stand out, what a good portfolio should have, what you should not miss in such kind of portfolio, and mainly what that kind of portfolio should have. Okay, so welcome at today's seminar. And as I mentioned already, we're going to talk about portfolio. Before we start, I would love to say that we are Victoria Art, and we are working with talented artists from Central and Eastern Europe to come to the global art world. We're basically all about breaking stereotypes about Central and Eastern Europe and build new perceptions. I would love to mention that these seminars are co-funded by the European Union. And so definitely, if you're an artist who is aspiring to create something very interesting and you're looking for the right funding or the right place where to really find the amount of money or like resources or even consultancy or even experts in your industry, definitely check options for yourself. Before we start, I would love to ask you to be mindful of others when they're speaking. Please keep your microphones off until the questions and answers, so Q&A section, and have a great time. By the way, if you have any questions during the seminar, do not hesitate to put it in the chat, and I can read it at the end of the seminar, or yeah, you can just raise your hand and turn on your mic at the end. So, Victoria Art, very briefly about us. We are leaders in Eastern European art. We're strictly working with this kind of artist, and our main goal is to replace outdated stereotypes and build new perceptions about these amazing countries from Central and Eastern Europe, which have so much potential, but they're not that much explored yet, and artists from these regions usually do not have that many opportunities either. So we are actually working with them, and we do help them to come to the global art world. So, as I mentioned in the beginning, today we're going to focus on how to create a proper portfolio. As I mentioned, it's extremely important thing for artists to have a proper portfolio. Why is it important? Because if you don't have a portfolio, no one is actually look at your stuff. No one is going to really look at what you created. Where should they look? How they should see it? So this is one of the topics, I would say, key topic, very, very basic topic, which really needs to be discussed, because in our work, we see so many issues with this topic. So that's why we actually put it in the schedule. I would love to say that these seminars are going to take place every week, some weeks even twice, until the 22nd of December. So definitely check it out. Well, first, before we start, let's think about portfolio. What's portfolio? What does it even mean, portfolio? Portfolio is a thing, or it can be online, it can be offline. It's kind of like a book or booklet or catalog of your works. And these works should sometimes include older works, should sometimes include newer works, sometimes should include particular style of your works, but that's something what we're going to discuss a little bit later. But in the beginning, there are three primary focuses of a professional portfolio you need to think about. So it's format, it's content, and it's convenient. And in Victory Art, I regularly see artists having issues with every single point I just named, with format, content, and convenience. And sometimes they even don't have portfolio. So right now, before we jump, I would love to as well mention one more time that we are connecting emerging artists to the global art world. So if you're emerging artist and from Central and Eastern Europe, and you would be interested in joining Victory Art or participating in our consultancies, definitely contact us at curator@victoryart.eu. So, first of all, let's talk a little bit more about the portfolio. Well, it really depends on who you are and how you want to present yourself. Because building a portfolio should be a key thing in your art career. It should be something what really make you stand out. And it should be something where people look at and they really feel like, oh, like now I know this artist. Now I can see the value of this artist and I feel more connected. A good portfolio really helps others to get to know you. And that's the goal of the portfolio. Because your clients don't know you, galleries don't know you, maybe your fans still don't know you. Definitely if you're applying to some school or exhibition, like they don't know you. So through portfolio, you actually show people like, this is me. This is who I am as an artist. And this is why you should choose to work with me or buy me or choosing me for different exhibitions or whatever. It's very important at the same time to think about personalizing the portfolio, because a lot of artists have one general portfolio and they feel like they can send it to everybody. It can even have sometimes 50 pages. And then they are like, oh, okay, so this is who I am, just like, it's quite messy, but here it is, and you can take whatever you want out of it. It's not good. Your portfolio should really be showing how outstanding you are, and it should kind of help people to keep on their mind about who you are, about what you do, what's your vision in art industry. And it's actually not that tough to build a portfolio. And we're gonna definitely show you a little bit later how to do it step by step, what you should not miss, and all the basic details you need in order to have one. So, making a professional portfolio is connected as well with creating something what stands out. It's definitely about being noticed and about being remembered. As I mentioned before, a lot of artists create one portfolio which they send to everybody, clients, interior designers, exhibitions, artist residencies, galleries. And this is number one mistake they do. Remember, it's always better to put a little bit more effort and to create customized portfolio than to send one portfolio to everybody. What we do at Victory Art is that every single time we have a client or we have someone who is interested in artworks, we prepare a personalized portfolio for them. This makes them not only feel more special, it makes us seem more professional. It makes people more interested because we always prepare portfolio based on their needs. At the same time, include high quality images, because if they gonna be low quality and you can see like this, like squares, blurred squares, no one is going to be interested in working with such kind of artist and either buy this kind of artist, because it shows that you did not put enough effort into it. It shows that you not appreciate your client or gallery to really put effort in it. And it shows that you're not professional. Because if you would be professional, you would immediately see it and you would never put it out like this. So really think about it. And another thing very important, you need to put all necessary information for collection or artwork. Depends very much on the amount of on the amount you have. So a few things you have to consider when you are aiming to prepare a portfolio. So first one is having a basic information. So you need to, of course, like start with the title, what medium is your art, size of the art, year of the creation. Really be careful with these things. It's extremely important to put these details. A lot of times happens that artists do not put correct size, and then the client buys it, and then the artwork is 50% from what she expected and returns the artwork. So really be careful about these specific things. If it's part of specific collection, make sure that you put there something about that collection, that you put there what inspired you, how many pieces are in the collection, how long you worked on it, details. Because a lot of artists are doing this a huge mistake about description. And well, if you do not create a description for your art, then how people should know what you are painting about, like what your painting mean. It's definitely good to not over exaggerate it. So just keep it like maybe 5-6 sentences, very condensed, very straight to the point. Another thing what you should consider is artist CV. So make sure that you put what you worked on before, where you exhibited, what's your education. Show all art-related work experience. Show your artist statement. And do not be afraid to be playful with it. Create your own style. You will be repeating with next catalogs or brochures or some informational materials for your exhibitions. But make sure that this information are there. And one of the most important ones, make sure that as well your personal contact information is there. Because otherwise people will not know where to really approach you and where to really reach out to you. If you have a website, put QR code there. If you want to really push through portfolio to buy someone, make sure that there is like a QR code on every single page. Or even if you're doing like PDF document and you're sending it in a digital version, just like a link, like maybe price or like the name or something, just link it so people can directly go to specific page. Just try to make it as easy possible for them. And nowadays, of course, in like the technologically advanced society, there are a lot of different venues who are open to really showcase art and artist works, and not only for selling purposes. So it's good that you have option of having digital portfolio and as well physical portfolio. Let's say that you are you are an artist who wants to exhibit in Barcelona and you get this opportunity, I don't know, through colorful artists, or sometimes galleries just keep sending like calls to different other galleries or even different artists about like, hey, just join this exhibition we do plan to create. And especially in these cases, it's good to have a digital portfolio as well. Having digital portfolio gives you actually freedom to really keep updating it regularly. So you make sure that you're up to date without having extra costs or extra hassle to I don't know, bind together the portfolio or print it on a special paper and go to printer or something. So make sure that when you create portfolio, you have it in both versions. And the online one or like the digital one has to be editable. If it's not editable, and you create just one thing and you don't have the original file, it can be very annoying to recreate it all over again. So if you actually decide to go more with like this traditional format, it's good to choose, for example, a binder that keeps your whole portfolio together, and it makes it pretty easy for galleries to manipulate with it and to just like represent it on contest. And by keeping this portfolio organized, you will as well ensure that no materials will get lost. So this can be one of those classical ways. You don't have to necessarily choose binder, right? Like nowadays there are so many amazing ways how you can do this, how you can bind your portfolio together, or you can even, when you're an artist, you can do it in a very unique way, and you can find other ways how to bind it together. So really feel free to be creative. In terms of digital format, we already discussed it. It's good to really have the original copy, so you can always adjust the portfolio for different purposes, like for calls to actions, artist residencies, galleries, buyers, like different things. But definitely make sure that you have it somewhere saved properly. And sometimes artists even send this kind of coded files. I don't know if you might be doing it if you really want to do it um, in a very secure way. But one thing what I would definitely suggest you that, especially if you're a digital artist, make sure that you will not share very high resolution, because then it's quite easy to do a lot with it. And sadly, we already had a few artists at Victory Art whose pictures were sold on random pages by random people, and they didn't know them. The people were monetizing on their art, and even though they tried to contact the seller, they couldn't. They tried to contact the platform, someone was selling through it, they did not succeed, and this is quite pity. So really make sure that you think about who you are sharing the digital portfolio with, and the way how you do it, because sometimes you can even use one of these services where you just upload a PDF or like online document, and people cannot copy paste, they cannot take a screenshot, so they cannot really manipulate with your files. So maybe that might be a good option for you. At the same time, you can use kind of alternative to what I just said, and to do just online portfolio. So to have somewhere hosting on a secure platform, and you can just keep sharing maybe some link with other people where they can see it. Or you can just do it on your website. You can build your own website as an artist, and you can just post the whole portfolio there. It actually has advantages, and it actually has a lot of disadvantages. So when you're an artist and you have your own platform, website, portfolio, online portfolio, you can call it however you want. You need to manage it by yourself. You need to manage the whole marketing by yourself. You need to manage the whole sales process by yourself. So it can be pretty demanding. So it might be a little bit easier option that you choose some different platform to really think about this. Well, Another thing, what you have to really consider is the content. So if you're an artist who is taking pictures of who is actually doing paintings, and you need to create your portfolio, make sure that your paintings are professionally taken care of, and that they are professionally depicted by professional photographer. Because if you are an artist who, I don't know, does let's say something with 24 karat gold, or you have to take pictures of maybe some artworks which are framed and there's glass, you will need professional to do that. So make sure that when you be thinking about this, that you really have professional portfolio to use and professional pictures to use in a portfolio. At the same time, it's really amazing to do a cover letter and to really put more information about why you want to, let's say, participate in specific art residence, or why you want to do specific call to action or call for artists. So definitely, the more you put about yourself, and I don't mean that you have to write, I don't know, like 10 pages long essays, but the more you think and the more you personalize as an artist, the better it is for you. So really think about that, like how you can make it work in the best way possible for yourself. And maybe if you want to be part of some collection, like collection for a very successful bank, then especially in these cases, it's extra important to really have a great portfolio and to do this cover letter. Well, another thing what was already mentioned before, but I'm going to do it one more time. It's kind of a CV or artist biography. So this should be content about you as an artist. You can mention why you started working in art industry, what inspired you in the first place to use art and work with art, where you went to school, all your exhibitions, and another things what you feel are important for your buyer. So maybe, yes, some buyers really want to know your previous collections. They really want to see them because they want to see how well you progress or how much you progress and how great artist you are. So especially when you know that there's a special gallery waiting for you, or you want to be part of a special collection, you really have to think what you're putting into the portfolio and what you want to put in the artist biography. Another thing is to write an artist statement in the first person, and this actually keeps it very personal. So this is latest trend, and in this artist statement, you should really explain the meaning behind your work and your artistic process and why you choose specific way how to create artwork. But at the same time, as I mentioned before, make it very specific. So you do not have to write 10 pages long essay. Just make sure that it's straight to the point, because at the same time, people don't like to read that much nowadays. So make sure it's really to the point, really stands out, and mainly describes who you are. Another way how to make people more interested in you is that the portfolio is going to be really condensed. So you can give your portfolio something what stands out, but make sure that it really is to the point, because people, especially when you send something to galleries and they want to see, I don't know, impressionism, but you used to be more realistic painter, make sure it's just not there. It should not be there. Really pay attention to details, personalize the portfolio. You can even add like a nice personalized touch to your portfolio. I don't know, like for example, I had once artist who was giving away like a very small canvases and very small pictures. So that was something what I really remembered, and it did stand out for me. So just think about what can make you feel that you are the one for the gallery, or what can make you stand out. Another thing was very important, but not a lot of artists put it in the portfolio. And I quite understand why, because in the art market, it's so easy to underestimate and to as well overestimate yourself. So the price list is quite a tricky thing. Should you put it in a portfolio? Shouldn't you put it in the portfolio? Like we're very transparent with our portfolio on the website, and a lot of people come to us and they tell us like, oh, you're too cheap, or sometimes people tell us, oh, you're too expensive. So it's quiet. Yeah, you never know what people will say. But as far as you create specific pricing and you really stand behind it and it's rational, just put it there. It's very important for people to know what price range are you in. And at the same time, a self-addressed stamp envelope or matching stationery is like a small detail, like a cherry on the top, but people might really love it. So this is quite like only cherry on the top, but make sure that the content of the portfolio is proper. And make sure that you really, really, one more time, I'm going to tell it, personalize it. Because no one likes to look at things when they feel like, oh, this was probably for someone else. This does not belong to me. This doesn't tell me anything. So think about all these ways, because you want people to really feel special. And right now, let's wrap up one more time how to make your portfolio stand out. Choose your best artwork to showcase. Pay attention to images. Organize your portfolio for success. Make sure your portfolio speaks to a variety range of audiences. Pay attention to specific requirements if they are there. Make your portfolio accessible and put some personal touch into it. And mainly, keep it updated. Do not send someone 3 years old portfolio. Well, and at the same time, it has to represent you. So avoid really using neon colors and other elements that are really hard to read. It has to be simple. It has to be straight to the point. It needs to represent you. The main thing is to represent you. So I know that you might be going through like a phases that right now I really have this thing that I love to work with neon colors, that I love to work with red or blue color, and I want to just make it all like that. But the beauty is in the simplicity, and the more simple your portfolio will be, but at the same time unique. So really make sure that there's like this unique point which makes it stand out, the better it's going to be for you and the longer you can use it. Well, if you have any questions, feel free to raise your hand or to unmute your microphone and to just directly ask me. And in the meantime, I would love to mention that this week we're going to do another seminar, which is going to take place already on Thursday at 7 p.m. It's going to be done by our amazing partners by GJW Gallery at 7 p.m. And it's going to be about art on the internet. So definitely do not miss it out. We would really love to see you there. And in case there are no questions, I would love to say thank you so much for joining us today. Definitely follow us at different social media. Check at the same time our amazing seminars, which are going to take place until the end of December. And have a great evening. Thank you so much for joining.